statewide Texas Heirs Property Summit. Yay!
Hi, good morning. My name is Amir Befroui. I'm an attorney at the Weaver Law Firm. I was invited to sit here partially because I had 13 years in legal aid experience. Now I've moved into private practice. My job for the last 13 plus years as a lawyer has been to help families dealing with heirs property. One symptom of heirs property, higher property tax bills. Who here knows that Texas law allows heirs property owners to get a property tax exemption? So what would happen before, and this is going to that symptom of property tax issues, is mom had 4 kids. Who gets the house? Well, under Texas law, all 4 kids get it. So each one has 25%. Prior to 2019, the 2019 change in the law, that means you only got 25% of the homestead exemption. And for those of y'all who are homeowners in Texas, that's like 20% off on your tax bill. The average price of a house in the greater Houston area is about $350,000. The average tax rate's about 2%. So every year that you own that dirt and that house is $7,000. Can I take 20% off of that for you? Can you do something with that $1,400? That's a little over $100 a month. And if you inherited that family land, you did not have access to that. Because in 2019, the law was changed to say if you're an heirs property owner, you can get 100% of that tax exemption. Not the 25% that I just laid out in my example. But it's not given to you as a right. You have to apply for it. In addition to that, in that same symptom of property tax issues, right, exemptions at the start, it pops up as a higher tax bill. But what it often turns into is a property tax collection lawsuit. The school district filed a lawsuit, the county filed a lawsuit, the city filed a lawsuit. They're trying to collect their property taxes. That's because that's how we fund a majority of our teachers, firefighters, police departments, and rebuild our roads. Property taxes. The next symptom is mortgage issues. So maybe in that same example, right, mom and dad had 4 kids, fathers passed away, moms passed away. During their life, they took out a home equity loan, right? They purchased their house, then they refinanced with a home equity loan to send a couple of kids to school, redo the roof, build a pool, invest in their land. The borrower was mom, and the mortgage company won't talk to the heirs. This is an unnecessary barrier. There is a clear legal right to solve that problem under federal law. If you remember these words, it's called successor in interest. Successor in interest, SII, just Google it, right? It's a very simple problem. You don't know how many clients would come into my office and say, they knew mom was dead. They literally changed the statement to estate of mom, but they still took my money. And then as soon as I called them, they'd say no. And then something bad would happen to my clients, like COVID or disaster, which is another symptom, and they couldn't make the payments, right? No one contacts a lawyer or reaches out for help when everything's hunky-dory. I generally find one of the 4 Ds has happened. Death, disability, disaster, or divorce. One of those things happen, now you're looking for help. And then you're dealing with heirs property, now you know it's a problem. So in that mortgage problem, right, everything's hunky-dory, payments are being made, death, disaster, disability, or divorce happens. I can't stay current on the mortgage. Now the mortgage company won't talk to me. I can't access my rights to get the mortgage in my name because I don't have a lawyer, I don't know. It's a knowledge gap and an access to justice gap. And I can't force the mortgage company to change the terms of the mortgage to lower my payment so that I can get caught up. So that's another symptom, right? We've talked about taxes, we talked about mortgages. I touched on this just a moment ago, but disaster relief. If you wanted to get access to FEMA benefits in 2017, most of the time if you were a homeowner, you were being told you need to prove that you own your home. Well, what if your deed's washed away? In that case that you had it, right? Okay, you can go down to the county courthouse and get one. What if it's mama's house, right? How are you supposed to prove that it's yours? Now, there have been changes at the federal level to make this process easier, but there's a knowledge gap there, right? This, again, is a symptom of heirs property. We've talked about taxes, talked about mortgage issues, and disasters. And the last one would be not being able to utilize the property. And utilize is freedom. It's dignity. If I own my land and I want to sell it, but it's heirs property, most people aren't going to buy it because what they're doing is giving you money and buying a headache because they don't own it. You don't own 100% of it. I want that square piece of dirt. Well, I only own 25% of that and I can't get my brothers and sisters to agree with me. How do we solve that problem? Or I want to hold on to it, but I really need to take out a home equity loan or refinance the current mortgage, but the lender won't work with me. This is a lack of access to credit. So those are the big four, what I like to refer to as symptoms of heirs property. These are generally what drive someone to reach out.